Interviewing well is one of the most important aspects of landing a job in tech sales, or landing a job in any career path. And today we're going to talk about how to answer the classic question, walk me through your resume, tell me about your experience. We'll talk about it at a high level and go through a few examples to illustrate how to answer this question effectively. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for weekly videos, and reach out via email or book time through my Calendly link to talk about tech sales and your goals and see if I can support. All right, let's dig into it. When someone asks you, tell me about your background or walk me through your resume, you want to bring the passion and show your authenticity, show who you are, illustrate the qualities that have made you successful and the skill sets that have made you successful and that are ultimately relevant to the role you're going to be taking on in tech sales. In talking about your experience, you want to highlight where you've demonstrated qualities that are needed to be successful in tech sales, like being empathetic and understanding people and influencing their decisions to drive towards positive outcomes, being coachable, being gritty and passionate, and ultimately being able to pick up the phone and pick up a laptop and get a meeting. You want to show that every career move you made was intentional and there was a strong why behind it. That's really important, translating ultimately to why you want to get into tech sales and why you want to work at the specific company that you're interviewing with. Remember, when you answer this question or any question, focus on being concise and to the point, because interviewers have a job to ask a certain amount of questions, and if you ramble on and on, they can't get to all the questions they need to ask, and it's also just a lot to listen to. In sales, you're going to be put in front of customers or prospects, and it's going to be important that you show the interviewer that they can trust that they can put you in front of these prospects, and you're going to be to the point and crisp. That's a key part of executive level communication. And of course, when you highlight your experience, you want to speak in terms of the outcomes that you've produced and talk about quantities and dollar impact if possible, because sales is an outcomes business. So let's dive into a few examples. Will, tell me about your background and your resume. Well, I've always loved pitching and selling, whether that's season tickets to University of Texas football or ideas in the classroom. My first job out of college was working with my alma mater, the University of Texas, to sell season tickets to alumni, build those relationships, and help raise money for key programs to support students. I chose this opportunity because I was really passionate about the university and my experience. I learned so much, I grew so much, I was so grateful, and I wanted to give back. And one of my favorite aspects of this job was picking up the phone and calling an alumni, building an emotional connection around our experience, and influencing them to consider upsell opportunities to buy season tickets or upgrade to a better package to get more benefits. And it was really rewarding. Getting that sale just told me that sales was for me. Like, I got that itch, and that was my first taste of sales, but I did realize that I had another itch to try out teaching. I didn't want to go to my deathbed with regrets, and I was young, and I realized that I got to try this out. So I did transition, even though I had success in that role, to becoming a teacher, working with middle school students, and boy, was that a lot. It was challenging. These kids didn't always want to cooperate, but I learned a lot about connecting and influencing through understanding. And I ended up even getting feedback from my principal on how, rather than teaching at the kids, I really needed to take the time to get to know them. And through that, I learned lessons that I really think I can bring now into selling within the tech space. And selling in tech is what I am most excited about going forward, because the industry is so dynamic and things are always changing. There's so much to learn. And I realized that although teaching was amazing, I wanted to get back to pitching things. I wanted to get back to getting that feeling of selling those season tickets, but now with a higher ticket item, which is selling larger deals in tech. And I specifically want to work at MongoDB because I know the culture is great. I'm going to get the training that I need to be successful. I'll be around great people like Bill and Susan, who I connected with, networking, talking about their experience. And yeah, the product is one of the best in the market. So I'm really excited for the opportunity. And if you wanted me to double click into any of my experience, feel free to ask away and I can share more. I'm not saying that was a perfect answer, but hopefully it highlights how to show intention behind your career moves, to highlight certain skills that you have that are relevant to the job, and to show what you learned in your past experience and how it can translate to tech sales, why tech sales, and to talk ultimately about why you want to work at the specific company you're applying to. Let's walk through another hypothetical candidate's answer. Nancy, tell me about your background. Well, I started my career in sales at Verizon Wireless. I was excited to work for a larger company where I could get great training, and I quickly made it to Winner Circle within a year. I was one of the top performers in the Boston market. I was trained up in the Sandler sales methodology, so I built a sales foundation. I got those training wheels, and it was really gratifying to close deals, connect with customers, and be successful. But what I realized is I had an entrepreneurial itch, and I wanted to try out the entrepreneurial game, and I ended up getting into entrepreneurship in an industry that is the last industry you'd expect of someone who had never really cooked before or been passionate about it. I got into food and beverage, and I started a restaurant, and I grew it 140% year over year over 3 years. I opened up new categories and revenue streams, starting a food truck and a catering business, and I even marketed the business so well that I got featured in a Mark Wahlberg special on Netflix. I had a lot of success in the food and beverage industry, and I even managed teams. I learned a lot about leadership and what it takes to get teams functioning at a high level. But what I realized is that although I loved entrepreneurship as a whole, what I loved most about entrepreneurship was selling, and I really wanted to master the art of sales. And there's no better place to do that than in the tech space, which is the greatest niche where you could be selling with the biggest upside, where I could build financial freedom, build meaningful relationships, and just learn and grow a lot and be really challenged. So I'm very excited to be interviewing with Datadog, because Datadog is the best monitoring solution out there, especially as companies shift to the cloud. The product will sell itself. I could tell it's not going to be hard to sell. I'm going to get great training, and it's going to be a culture where I can grow long-term and move down the path of leadership, which is ultimately where I want to be. So that's my background and experience in a nutshell and why I'm here, and I'm happy to answer any more questions you have to go into details. All right, let's go through a final hypothetical scenario, asking John to tell us about his resume and background. Well, I've always considered myself to be a John of all trades, pun intended. I started out pursuing my passion in acting and bartending on the side, and I was really proud of the fact that I took the leap and went for it. And during my acting days, I learned a lot about what it takes to really read a script and prepare and rehearse, and then translate that into conveying emotions and really connecting with an audience. And I know that that skill set is something that I can translate into tech sales and into selling effectively. And bartending was a great opportunity to learn a lot more about people and what made them tick and how to communicate and understand their needs, and even, propose the perfect cocktail. And I know that that type of engagement with individuals and building relationships and understanding needs is something that I'm going to be able to use in the tech sales space. I did get a little bit of a business experience as a loan officer as well, and I got to actually pick up the phone, pick up the laptop, send emails, do cold outreach, set appointments, and really take a consultative approach to understanding these clients' needs and their goals and prescribing a solution that was relevant. I definitely love solving problems and helping people be successful, and I know that tech sales in particular is going to be a domain where I can put that problem solving and passion for helping people into action, and the upside is so huge. And cybersecurity in particular is a domain that is really interesting to me. Cybersecurity is more important than ever. It's not going away, and Proofpoint's one of the best. So that's really why I'm here. I want to be working with one of the best of the best. I want to be in the cybersecurity space. I want to use my problem-solving ability to positively impact clients. And if you have any questions for me on my experience and why I'm here, let me know and we can double-click into it. But I'm super excited. I hope these 3 hypothetical examples were helpful on how to translate your past experience, even when you have no tech sales experience, to landing a role in tech sales. By no means were my answers perfect, but again, hopefully they just spark some inspiration and help you think about how you could come up with your own authentic, passionate answer. At the end of the day, passion is way more important than perfection. So go out there, practice, 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 and bring all you've got to the table, and you're going to be successful. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for weekly videos, and email me or book time through my Calendly link in the description to talk tech sales, talk your goals, and see where I can support you on your journey. Make sure to check out one of my other videos. I did an interview with Kyle Coleman, who's a thought leader in the SDR space. He's hired over 200 SDRs and can teach you everything you want to know about SDRing and breaking into tech sales and being successful. So guys, all the best to you. Wishing you all the success in the world in tech sales and in life. Happy selling and happy living, and I'll see you in the next one.